Peace world, this is Jason. I'd like to welcome you to the Thug Life on Wheels exhibit here at On-Floor Gallery in Southeast Washington, D.C. Today is Thursday, July 10th, 2025. This exhibit has been brought to you. I'm curating it. I'm Jason. But the featured artists in this exhibit are Demont Picasso Pender, Luis Del Valle, and Daryl Harris. The reason this event was created is to elaborate on the code of thug life, which is, widely known and accepted to be created by Tupac and his stepfather, Mutulu Shakur. We found out through further research and history that they may not necessarily be the original founders of the document, but that is who is credited for it, and so that's what I've based my exhibit off of. First off which I feel is crucial to be the foundation of where we're coming from, is the definition of thug life. Now, subjectively speaking, I was asked years ago by my homegirl, Kim, she was like, why do you glorify thug or thug life or that aspect? Because it's always been, affiliated or associated with negativity or crime or something like that. But from my perspective, thug life is just a subculture or a lifestyle designed for the underprivileged class, the class of American citizens or poor and oppressed peoples throughout the world who needed a culture that they could survive in, that didn't meet the standards of typical mainstream society. So a lot of those subcultures that people may know about are, something like the mob, or different regimes that didn't thrive in the standard American society. So it doesn't necessarily have to be based in negativity or crime, but it's just really creating a subculture for survival. So that because if you can't get a job in this society, you can earn money. If you can't get an education in this society, you can be educated and enlightened. If you can't thrive and be a healthy citizen in this society, you can find ways to heal yourself and feed your family and those things without the approval of the mainstream society. So in a nutshell, thug life is a subculture for survival for people who have been dismissed by the mainstream society, right? And that is my subjective definition. I didn't check in with nobody to kind of be able to articulate, but that's through my experience as a man, as a young man growing up in Washington, D.C., and working in the community, working with youth, and attempting to organize and build in my community for over 25, 30 years. But with that being said, the name of this particular exhibit is Thug Life on Wheels. Now, that name was taken from a Nipsey Hussle song, and the song Grinding on My Life. The actual line is 96 Impala, Thug Life on Wheels, right? And so in my mind, because if you have an idea or a thought, and it becomes something on its own, it's usually said that your idea has legs, or that show you did, it got legs on its own. So in my mind, Thug Life on Wheels is the expansion of thug life, because the initial code of thug life that was created and that is well documented was, I think, April 28th, 1992. The Bloods and the Crips in LA was doing a treaty, a truce, and Pac's goal was to implement or introduce the codes of thug life at that treaty in 1992. So in my idea, the creation of this particular exhibit, Thug Life on Wheels, is the expansion of that. So I'd like to welcome you to the event. I appreciate you taking the time to be educated and informed about this particular exhibit. And we're going to go through each piece in the exhibit, how it relates to not just my own personal journey, but also to the code of thug life and the expansion of Thug Life on Wheels.